Are we live? We're live.
We're 2 minutes
Yeah,
early.
we're gonna catch. We're going a little bit early, and we're gonna
Some early
catch
birds. A worm.
Brett coming back.
Early bird catches the morning worm. And we're gonna catch. There's the worm.
Brett's back. We're live, Brett. So be careful what you say.
Son of a-
Can
Live.
you got a light or something, man? Dude, we can't see you.
You know, I'm like the little kid where Mom always said, "Hey, did you go to the bathroom before we left?" And it's like, no, no, I didn't. No, I didn't.
You head to the bathroom.
We gotta give Brett the-
Brett
Let's get some lights on.
already
There
did
we
his
go.
thing.
Got some light in the studio here now.
There you go.
Give Brett the 3-minute bathroom warning.
Nice.
Brett, my sister said you should be a DJ.
All right then. Hey, let's tune up those. Let me get the fourth caller on line 5, and you're gonna win the
There you
big
go.
prize.
There you go.
Nice. Yeah, we did start early.
We need to do something, Brett. It's just
That's a
happened.
first.
I should have called Brett earlier today and had him prepare for this. Do a little tribute to Don Pargo, who passed away.
Pardo.
Pardo, excuse me, pardon me.
Don Pardo.
From Saturday Night Live.
Don Pardo, tell him what he's won.
70 years of entertainment.
Live.
Yeah, that was a little hard on me because I love the voices.
Yeah. Well, we're back. We're back in sync. Not like the boy band, even though GP and I are having a little showmance here.
We got an
With,
instant connection.
Opening of the show. Did you get that? Lance Bass, the sync, the in sync.
Brett looks a
Brett looks a lot like.
Woo! Pull that up. There's
Dude,
Lance.
you do look a lot like. See, now if we had Andrew on the show, already we would have a picture of Lance Bass up.
Beautiful.
Andrew,
Where are you at, Andrew?
wake
I know.
up, man.
Mission
Where
needs
is
you.
he?
Get back here.
Where
When
the
is he
heck
coming
are-
back online? When you bump it to 9?
And most definitely it would be a photo of Lance at his wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's he does actually have a whole collection of Lance Bass gear.
Another romance.
Oh, he's gonna kick your guys' butt when he hears this.
I dare him to. We're daring him to come on the show.
We're safe. He can't get across the border.
I was gonna say I'd like to see him get across. Oh wait, yeah, I bet you he could.
Yeah.
How hard would that be? Hey, I'm coming across. Okay. Hey. We'll
Go
see
across
ya.
that rainbow bridge there, Lance.
Do you need any help?
Hey, so we are. Can we make an announcement about having the Blast NFL Fantasy League, our own league, and maybe do the league next Tuesday, and we'll invite a whole bunch of people. We do have one person in our group that hates the NFL, but he's a closet watcher.
Don't hate the NFL. I'm not a hater. I don't
Not
hate
hating.
anybody.
Well,
I just
you
don't
know,
support
You either love the NFL or you hate the
innocent
NFL.
people by athletes getting paid millions of dollars, which I think we're going to talk about later today, maybe. Possibly. I don't know.
We were gonna talk about punching women, and we
It's-
talked.
Okay, sorry.
No, we talked about how it was not okay to do unless I think I can still
Was
kind
there
of
one less?
play around like this, unless we go
Oh yes. That's
here.
Yeah.
Tell me she doesn't look like she's already been punched.
Yeah.
Did you see the
She's
new?
punched wrong.
Did you see the new funny on Facebook?
The
It
ice
said,
the ice bucket challenge.
The ice
Nancy
bucket
Pelosi.
challenge and Nancy. The
No.
Wicked Witch of the West. The Wicked Witch of the West melted.
I'm not sure what's going to come first.
Oh,
but
she melted.
Well, it's the scene from The Wizard of Oz where she gets the water on her and she melts.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It's the end
Yeah.
of that. It's Nancy Pelosi took the ice bucket challenge.
I'm not sure what's going to come first, but you guys can chime in on this one. But either punching women in the face is either going to become a professional sport or an Olympic sport, but I'm not sure which. It's
Now,
so
is it-
prominent amongst
You're probably
our
right.
professional athletes.
Yep,
that
you're right.
Just like marijuana, they're tired of fighting it. They're just going to legalize it. So they can't stop it. They're tired of criminalizing it. So you know what? Let's just legalize punching women in the face.
Here you go. Well, just we're going to have, with this whole Ferguson thing, we're going to have legalized that movie, The Purge, there, because none of the cops are going to want to come out and actually do anything.
Oh yeah, let them burn their own town. Let them burn their own town. That's what they did in L.A.
Well, what did the mayor say today? The mayor just came out a few minutes ago before Greg walked into the office.
Oh no, the mayor isn't.
Not the mayor, the governor.
The governor, yeah. The mayor's a great, right-on guy, and not that it matters, but he's a very young white male that is very in touch with the people in his community, and it's just, he's getting a lot of heat because the businesses are blaming him for no protection from the cops and that they lost their businesses, but that's the people's fault, not them. But anyways. The governor came out and said just a minute ago that there better be a prosecution in this, and that was 5 minutes after the voice of the looters said, if he's not prosecuted, what you saw so far is just going to be a picnic compared to what we will do.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous, especially since now, I don't know if you saw it, Greg, I sent Jim the article where they now have proof and they have an x-ray that the officer has the kid punched him so hard, or hit him so hard, that he cracked his eye socket.
Yeah. Well, let's wait.
Inside the car.
Wait for the facts.
Inside the car. That's how much power you have to do that in that confined space.
Look at the guy. Look at the picture Jim just put up of the. It's not on the screen.
Right there.
The guy at the.
Here we go.
At the grocery store or whatever it was.
Okay, so this is all part of the story.
The guy's terrified.
This is part of the story that Amy sent. Breaking report.
Okay.
Officer Darren Wilson suffered orbital blowout fracture to the eye socket during the Mike Brown attack. So we were just in the other room watching, who's the blonde, Megyn Kelly, and she is interviewing Michael Brown's attorney, and she said, what happens if they don't give a what do you call it?
Verdict.
Yeah, if they they don't indict him.
Thank you.
He said, basically, there's no other option. They better indict him. And he said, they got talking about it. He admitted that there was apparently some sort of altercation inside the car where the gun went off.
Yep.
But then his problem is that then later, Michael was running. The cop apparently shot and hit him in the forearm or something. He turns around, puts his arms up. That's all bullshit, whatever. But they totally ignore the fact that Michael was definitely inside the cop's car messing with the cop and busted his eye socket.
You know what I find disturbing about all this, too, is just, Greg, you just said it, the facts. I mean, God, there's so many different ways this is getting twisted and turned right now. It's like,
no kidding.
There's only one guy that really knows 110% what happened, and that's the cop. Well, the other guy is dead. He can't answer.
No, hang on a second. A second. That's not necessarily true in that apparently, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Michael's sidekick was there the whole time. He's the one that came out and said that the cop called him the N-word and all this other stuff, which now is just totally. He needs to be. The only reason Obama needs to be sending the knucklehead to St. Louis is.
Holder.
Yeah, I don't like to give them respect by even calling them by their names. But, whatever. He should only be going there for one thing, and that's to arrest that kid for enticing a riot.
Yeah, because see, if that kid. It's his eyewitness story that said, hey, we were hiding behind the car. He comes out with his hands raised and the cop started shooting. That right there is filing a false police report. That's inciting a riot, and that kid right there needs to be thrown in prison.
He's the one responsible for this whole thing starting. If he'd come out and said the truth from the beginning, like, yeah, Michael and I, we did something stupid. We were wrong. We went in, we strong-armed this guy. Mike got terrified, the store owner. And then when we went down the street, he didn't cooperate with the police. I mean, seriously, that's an honest statement. If you come out and you just say the honest thing, I don't know why.
He wouldn't even been in trouble.
But you come out and you say all this other stuff, and then the parents come out and say what a saint he is and how innocent he is. Well, I hope the parents are watching the video of the store owner and saying, yeah, that's my proud honor student right there, being so meek and mild and sweet and nice.
But they're saying that none of that even matters.
Yeah.
That's just.
It does matter because you know what? As soon as that attorney, the prosecuting attorney, if there is one, if it's stupid enough to go that far, first of all, like I told JK earlier, the police department's going to load up with the biggest and best, most powerful attorneys this country has to offer to defend this police officer. And as soon as they start to do one thing about saying, and this is how it works in the court of law, anybody that's an attorney, and Megan White will say this on Fox time and time again, as soon as they open up that door, then all this stuff plays in. They can say, no, we're going to show, in the court of law, the prosecuting attorney can object to that, and he's going to override it because he's going to say no. The defense attorney is going to say no. This has to do with his state of mind and where his state of mind is, and this is how it all starts.
Well, when that toxicology report comes out, his state of mind is going to be, it will be a physical, a chemical taking over that kid's body, and that's, so I mean.
They've already said that he had marijuana in his system, but that kind of plays against the whole.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Here's the fundamental problem with what's going on there right now, up to and including right now, what's going on in that city right now, is that this has become such a political hot button that the powers behind the scenes that are getting ready to, they're going to manipulate every aspect of the story, because if they come out and say, nope, the cop was justified, boom, everything turns 10 times worse. The riots increase, and hundreds of more people flock from across the country to go support the protesters. And if they say, well, this cop was completely unjustified, it goes the other direction as too. Now you risk completely inciting a whole nother group of people that so far are just sitting back.
Right.
So, I mean,
there's
the
a
right
whole
thing
bunch
cannot
of
be done here. The right thing can't be done here.
There's a whole bunch of supporters right now for that police officer all starting to come out. It's like I saw this video the other day, and then Amy posted it a couple of days ago too, and that was when all the Hamas people were marching up and down New York in the Diamond District. And all of a sudden, spontaneously, all the shop owners, the Jews and everybody, closed up shop and came out and started chanting what is it, IDS for the Israel Defense Force?
IDF,
IDF, and they flipped it on them. They turned it on them. Good for them.
Drove them out.
Yeah. So here.
Well, last night it was really good to see the human chain that was forming of normal, regular.
Exactly, and they interviewed two guys.
Pushing them back.
Jim said we weren't going to have any, what do we call it at the end of the show, where we do a nice story?
Yeah, we may.
No, what is it called? What's it called?
We're not going to do any positive stuff.
Positive, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to do it right now real quick.
He had to search for the word positive. That's how negative this show is.
Well, no, I wanted to get the correct, what we title it, so that we plug the right thing. I don't want it to be Greg's words. Anyways, bottom line, 2 young African-American kids, probably between 20 and 25, college student age, are 2 of the guys that go down there every morning and help clean up. We need to have more of that stuff. They were on Fox today, got interviewed.
Yeah, but did you hear what they said in the interview?
Kids.
One of them was a Christian kid, the kid in the red shirt, and the kid who looked like a bookworm with the glasses and stuff looked like a bookworm.
Oh, yeah.
Take mine off. He actually said.
So.
I know I can't see without these doggone things anymore. So he said something to the effect, and I'll probably get it wrong, but I thought I heard him say that he felt that tomorrow there shouldn't be an indictment no matter what. And I'm like, and they go, even before all the facts come out, and he goes, yes.
Well, he's entitled to his opinion. At least he's not out looting and getting stupid over it. That's my point.
But to Greg's point, they were out the next day. They're helping all the time.
Even if he's out there making a mess, at least he comes back to clean it up. And I don't think he is. You know what I mean? He's like the
4th of July. Go back out front and sweep up the front of your street.
Listen, if Martin Luther King, God rest his soul, was alive today, he could be down there thinking the same thing. He probably wouldn't verbalize it, but and eventually he'd have to wait for the facts to come out. But he may be saying we need an indictment. This needs to stop. You guys have covered many of stories on this show of police brutality that's not even justified, and those need to be case by case. You can't just say every time this happens there's a case by case. And I'm still waiting for the African American speaker to come out and just be outraged at how many blacks are killing blacks in our country.
Oh, you won't see it. You won't hear it.
No, Bill Cosby will, but then he'll be called an Uncle Tom.
Yeah, I mean, those are the only ones that are doing it. Ben Carson has talked about it.
Regardless, you know what I mean? 1,000 blacks will kill a black, and then one white officer does something like this. And like J.K. said many times, and we all have, let's wait for the facts. Let's see the facts. And each time, more unravels. And then in their mind, well, he probably had another cop sock him in the eye. He probably had another gun guy shoot. And you know what? You guys watch too many movies. You think all cops are corrupt because you listen to too many uneducated speakers in your community. It's as nice as I can say.
All cops are corrupt. But where in the frickin' A, Greg, where is this? I'm looking for the...
He's asking me to show him something on the computer, Brett. We're in trouble.
Oh, wait, never mind.
Houston, we have a problem.
Never mind, I got it.
Let's just
Andrew, quick, save us.
I found it.
Now I know that Jim and Brett aren't very fond of police officers, and I understand that. But this, when you look at this case, it's ridiculous. Of all the cases that you can use, like a racism cry or something about, it's not this case. No. And they keep talking about.
But you see, I would also question. There's a few things about this that we do know. He was shot 6 times, twice in the head. I'm thinking after three or four. I mean, he's unloaded his own.
Wait, Brett.
Do you shoot, Brett?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Do you? Okay. So they had the detectives, 2 New York City detectives on, said in 3 seconds he got off 6 shots. One skimmed his head. Only the last one was a kill shot. That was the only one that was a kill shot. The rest got him in the arm, and he's 6'4" and he's 300 pounds, and he's charging.
If that guy was on PCP and he was bum rushing that cop, you're going to shoot.
I agree with Amy. I agree with Amy. Regardless, I'm not so sure that I'm willing to say at this point that there's going to be anything in his system. So I'm going to go with he's clean. There's nothing in his system. Okay? I'm going to go with that right now, only to prove, like Amy said, that if a 300-pound man is running at you full speed, you've just been hit in the eye, who knows how much damage has already been done to you as far as a mild concussion or anything else. All I'm saying is this guy's shown that he's going to do some serious bodily harm to you. Cops are not trained to shoot to wound, and like Amy just said, that guy could still keep running for 3 seconds with a shot in the arm, a shot in the side, shoulder. None of those were killed until that last one hits.
So
that's what uneducated people don't understand.
It seems like a lot, but like the detective said, 3 seconds to get off 6 shots is not. I mean,
of all people, for me to be supporting the cop, you know that I'm thinking that the cop was in the right.
Well, besides the fact that it's not a bad cop, I mean, his whole history and his record, and everyone who talks about it says he's a good cop and he always does the right thing. So this is not the case to champion bad cops, because we know there are some out there, and then we know that there are those,
You've got cops in LA, that are right.
LA was always the worst, weren't they?
In this case, I tend to lean with Jim's opinion of it. I would venture to guess this is probably a very justified act by the cop. What I find really offensive, though, is the response.
Yep. And
I mean, this is a fine example of our militarized police, our police state. And I'm not saying that people should be out there looting. This situation is too sticky to be able just to put it down in black and white. For me, I don't even know where to stand on it. It's like I can see both sides. I can see the frustration from the community on the side of the black community. I can see the frustration the police must have trying to deal with this type of behavior every single day. And I mean, I highly doubt that the cop was acting out of love and respect for the community. He was probably pissed off. So.
And we all would.
Well, he just got cracked in the eye.
Look.
Absolutely.
I've said this. I got to be careful of my wording because J.K. will get mad at me.
He's right there too.
No, it comes to the word unjustly or whatever when he was killed. it's tragic. Okay, a family has lost a young son who, let's just be honest,
He's lost a young thug.
you guys have all known that throughout our lives we've done dumb things, we've made mistakes, we've done things we're not proud of. We've gone out, had a few too many beers, done whatever, maybe with drugs, who knows. And I'm not saying that anybody deserves to die because of that. But like JK said earlier, starting with this guy's frame of mind, going after the store owner. Listen, I have no audio to that tape, and I am good at reading body language. And that store owner is terrified. And that is one
Look at that.
angry
Black
young kid, okay, regardless of his race. He's a very angry individual, and I don't know why. But at that point right there, he's very angry. He's very out of control, and he's strong-armed. He's a bully. He's everything that you don't want to deal with. And then he goes to the next thing, okay, and socking a police officer in the eye.
Right there, St. Louis. Sources said Wilson suffered an orbital blowout fracture to the eye socket. This comes from a source within the prosecuting attorney's office and confirmed by St. Louis police. A blowout fracture is a fracture of one or more bones surrounding the eye and is commonly referred to whatever.
Well, if you've all seen the inside of a police car, there's not a lot of room. So for that kid to be able to bash in his eye socket, he was a powerful kid.
Right. So then we go to the next scene where that shooting takes place. Okay, and it's tragic any way around. No police officer is looking to wake up in the morning and kill somebody. Okay, because that is a very, very hard thing for someone to deal with after this. It's a proven fact. Police struggle through all kinds of stuff after they've had to shoot an individual. It's not like they like to, and this guy definitely fits that. He doesn't fit the type of person that's looking up ready to get even. Are there some police officers out there that wouldn't mind shooting somebody? Yes. Okay, and that goes back to, like I said before, you're recruiting a lot of military guys into the police departments, and a lot of those guys have put people down in the military, so they have a different mind frame from the guy that just is coming out of high school, college, and hasn't had to go through that.
All right.
But the thing is that, real quick, I'm sorry, Brett, to get to your point, and that's what I was trying to do, build up to that, is that now we have a bunch of anarchy people in society that think this is okay and all right to go out and do that. Look, you can go out there and make a point and do what you got to do the right way. This has to stop, and they need to go in there. I'm sorry, they need to go in there with a bigger force if, like Amy said earlier, there's not going to be the community that formed that chain to go in there and do it themselves. And if that's not going to work, if those people can't control the situation themselves, then it leaves nothing else but for us to have a militarized zone in that area. It is a war zone. They're shooting, they're robbing, they're looting, and you can't allow that to happen.
Now, Brett, you're going to say, let me just put words in your mouth for you. You're going to say that, hey, this is what I'm talking about right here. Greg's advocating. Am I doing right? Greg is advocating for a police state, and I got a problem with the police state. Did I say that pretty much?
I think I actually nailed your lip sync with that too.
Yeah, you did.
That
Now,
was pretty good.
So now I'm going to rebut. Since I said what you were going to say, now I'm going to refute that by saying what Greg is saying. Greg is only saying that it's not a police state to control civilized people. They're controlling outlaw behavior, like looting.
People that aren't even from that city.
Right.
They're arresting people from Los Angeles, for God's sake.
All over the place are going in there to cause trouble.
Come on. And you got to control it.
So was the government's response to the Cliven Bundy situation proper?
No.
I mean, Cliven Bundy in this case was the thug. He decided not to pay what he was supposed to pay. I mean, technically, he was the one who was breaking the law. But
the government went in and sent a bunch of people in there with rifles. He was not doing Come on, Brett. Are you serious? This is what frustrates me and irritates me.
No.
He did not get a bunch of people together and go out there and act like thugs. So they didn't start looting all kinds of stuff.
I didn't say he did.
Okay,
I'm
but you're trying to compare them.
I'm talking about the government's response.
Give Greg the mic right there. Let him have it.
I'm going to do a Bob on you, man. No, I mean, it's just, it's case by case, and this is not even close to that situation.
They're completely, there's one similarity between these two situations.
You're trying to stretch it. You're trying to compare two things that don't.
Government response. All right, so let me just say this, that Michelle, I don't know if she can hear us. Michelle, can you hear us?
Oh, well, you know what? Let me entertain Brett for a second. Can I entertain Brett for a second?
Let's entertain Brett.
Because she's not coming up?
Okay.
Okay, Brett.
Well, it says alternative.
Did we see? Okay, no, because you're more educated to this on me, so I'm going to give you that. You're more educated on this case than I am as far as the Bundy thing goes. Okay. From what I understand, listening to you and J.K., federal agents went in there with high-powered rifles, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And many of them, right?
Right.
Okay. We saw National Guards go in there. We did not see federal agents with high-powered rifles going into St. Louis.
So
I would like you to define the difference between the way their military police force looks and what the feds look like on that Clive.
If Bundy's people
militarized gear.
If Bundy's people and his supporters would have gone in and started looting, burning, and doing stuff, you'd have seen it handled.
Yeah, but on the Senate floor, the Senate leader of the United States called everybody there terrorists.
See,
and he's yet to call people of St. Louis terrorists. Let's define a terrorist. Let's go back to the song the Black Eyed Peas sang, "Where is the Love?" and listen to the lyrics of "Where is the Love?" We have our own terrorists in our country. It's called the FBI, the CIA, the KKK, the Crips and the Bloods. Anybody that puts fear in another individual, and that would include the IRS. People get fear when they get a letter saying they're going to get, investigated for their taxes or anything else. The definition of a terrorist is someone who puts fear in another individual.
Right.
I'm sorry, Amy.
Let me ask you a question. Like the whole riot gear thing is not new. I mean, that's been around for 20 years. So the riot gear
since the 60s.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The modern militarized look with the the full helmet and all that riot gear that they have now. That's been around for like 20 years now. So that's kind of standard in most places when a riot breaks out or when you're.
Well, not to mention, Amy, they're dealing with a much more volatile society than we were in the 60s, where the people have much more arms on the other side.
Right. So what do you do when something like that happens and in that whole situation the cop kills a kid? Now everyone starts to get upset and now they're looting and they're throwing Molotov cocktails and that they were doing that regardless of whether or not the
in the 60s?
No, they were burning bras in the 60s.
In the 60s, you can go back and look at
in this situation, though, in Ferguson, they were going to do that regardless of whether or not the cops came in just plain uniforms or with riot gear on.
In the 60s, they controlled the crowd. In the 60s, they controlled the crowd. Go back and look at the footage with German shepherds and fire hoses.
Okay, but
that's not going to work nowadays.
No, but
actually, by the way, you're 100% wrong about that. They actually did some side-by-side shots from the 60s and from this event. And they were showing shepherds on the street. They were attacking the people. I mean, these were side-by-side pic. I got to find that. I'll have to pull that up and get you guys the link.
So they were using German shepherds today or yesterday?
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were comparing pictures from the 60s and the.
I didn't see any fire hoses.
Yeah, well, they were comparing the guns, the lineups. I mean, it was eerily similar.
And how many of those, Brett? How many of those people in the '60s were throwing bottle rockets and or cocktail rockets or whatever, and shooting guns? Zero.
No, they were throwing Molotov cocktails. There's the Bill Ayers and those guys, the Weather Underground.
But not in the Kent State type of, not in the Kent State type of protest.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That was when kids were getting attacked for black kids were getting attacked for trying to go into a white school. I mean, it's so different. It's not even funny. I mean, if we're even going to compare that, I'm just telling you.
So that's basically what I come back to. So what do you do then, Brett?
Okay. So let's go to Amy's point though, because Greg has been given a lot of good opinion here. Let's get Michelle's
That's a nice
there.
way of saying I've dominated the airtime.
No.
Greg's dominated the airtime, so let's. You didn't feel very much muscle there, but in a couple months you will.
When they started burning down that first gas station around where the kid got, where this kid shot. When they
Everyone say hello to Michelle.
Michelle here.
Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle. Michelle's back. All right, so
okay.
Michelle and Brett have the same electrician.
Yeah, we
No,
did.
Michelle, you're a little dark. All I can see is your glasses, honey.
Well, that's good because you don't really want to see me right now.
what's going on, Michelle?
Oh, I'm just in a lot of pain still. It's 2 weeks today for the gallbladder surgery.
Oh.
So I'm just I'm trying to stay comfortable, which is kind of very difficult. Needless to say.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Jim's got some pills he can send you.
Oh, honey, I tell you what, I got more pills here than I know what to do with.
She's feeling
Maybe you
good.
could send some pills to Jim.
There you go.
Hey, you know
Did
what
anyone
though?
see Farm Party?
No, here's my little miracle worker right here. It's called my mudslide with an extra shot of vodka, and an extra shot of rum, and an extra shot of this, and an extra shot of that. So
I don't know why, Michelle. I mistook you for a moonshine person. I thought you'd have some moonshine like Jim does.
actually,
I'm looking at a bottle of moonshine right over there by my TV. Yeah. Watch this. If you don't think, Greg will bring it over.
Hey, it's working, by the way. It's working now.
You had to dust it.
See
oh
that?
my God!
Got a bottle of moonshine.
I love it.
Where'd you get that from?
You want some, Greg?
No, I'm trying to quit.
It's like apple pie.
Well,
Good
you know
golly.
what?
So
Jim's gonna get happy.
let's.
So Brett and Jim, come on, what would you do?
Here's what I want to do. Amy brought up a really good point here, and I'm going to direct this to Brett. So Brett, Amy's saying that if these thugs, the people who don't even live in Ferguson, who are out there, some of them do, some of them aren't, some that they're arresting are from LA and other areas, and they're out there taking advantage of the situation. They are looting and rioting. So Brett, to Amy's suggestion that this stuff is going to go on, what would you do to stop it?
Sergeant?
Absolutely nothing. I mean, this is where we're headed. My point is, and all I've been trying to say is, what is the consistent theme in our culture today? And that is government response to civil unrest. So what we have here is civil unrest.
What we have here is failure to communicate.
You can give me 1,000,010 reasons why they're wrong, he's wrong, she's wrong.
So Brett,
but here we are.
We're hearing you say,
Let it burn,
in response to the riots, let it burn.
No. I say go in and start shooting if you really want to solve it. But that's not what's going to happen. This is a political.
Thank you, because that's what I said. Luna should be shot on sight.
This is a political mess. They should go to martial law immediately, and they should simply say, if you're caught out on the street, you will be shot. And if people choose to fight that, then they get shot.
Government control. Hey, Brett, I'm confused. You just argued with me a minute ago, telling me how with this police state stuff needs to stop.
No, and it does, but it's not going to. What I'm trying to say is,
I have a solution.
We have a government response to social unrest, and we are becoming very, very accustomed and familiar and unfortunately comfortable with it. And guess what? As we get more comfortable with it, it's going to get worse and worse. And pretty soon, you'll be sitting there going, what do you mean I can't go to church? Well, the government decided we're not going to allow that anymore. And I know that's extreme, but you want to walk that road, that's where we're headed. That's where we're headed.
Well, Brett, it's interesting that you said that because a woman on one of the threads had said, I don't know if anyone saw my comment, a woman on one of the threads said in California when when rioters do that and looters do that, the cops just stand back, they let them do it, and when they're finished, then they go in and clean up the place. I'm like, so what are you saying? So that you just allow looters to go in and destroy businesses, and the cops, you know, they're so afraid now to go and stop looters that everyone just gets to run amok? I'm like, no, to me that's not acceptable.
All right, GP's got a question here. Or a comment.
I have hopefully somewhat of a solution. Number one, I think we need to see more of the police working with communities instead of against communities. I think that, like Amy said earlier, you have a group of people there and a large amount of people in there that are peaceful demonstrators. The police should support that and be backing that and getting that to be the vocal point. And here's the biggest problem, and Jake and I were talking about that earlier today. There has not been, to my knowledge, one religious community leader coming out to try and help with the peace. I don't know how many churches there are in that area. I don't know what that whole
come on, you have the
breakdown is, but there needs to be more of a response from that type of community to get in and organize and help calm the situation.
Here's what I was telling GP earlier today. I said, look, we know that MC Hammer sold 1 billion records, turned himself into a preacher. We got Deion Sanders, famous athlete, turned himself into a preacher. You got all these people like them who have turned themselves into a preacher. Where are they? They're silent on that. You know, why don't they come in and like help calm the storm of all of their community and say, look, guys, let's get back to a Christian nature about this and take care of these things the right way. You know, if we're being...
You just said something there. It's their community, and I think therein lies the underlying fundamental problem. Is it's not us, it's pockets of us, and I mean that gets into a much bigger topic. But I guess all I'm saying is that, you know, this whole thing starts when you feel there's separation between groups, you know, which in and of itself, I suppose, is kind of a racist mentality. But I mean, this whole thing started. Had it been a black cop and a black kid, this is not happening right now. Had it been a white cop, shooting a white kid, this is not happening right now. Had it been a black cop shooting a white kid, this is not happening right now.
Right.
This is an excuse. This is an excuse that lit the fuse on something that is under the surface and has been ready to blow. And here we are. I mean,
I still, I'm sorry, I still hold people like Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson responsible for this. They've kept that stigma alive for all these years, rather than working on a peaceful type of solution and working this, going in there and lying and cheating time and time again, and not really representing the black community the right way, and not really working with other people, saying, you know what, it's all right as long as it's not a black kid, and everything to them is black. Right. And it's on the news, and it's projected, and it's boom, brainwashing these people's minds, and that's what they do, and it's sad. It's sad. They should be being told, no, it's a case-by-case situation. We need to look at this as a case-by-case situation. In those cases where there's a justified conviction of a cop for doing something wrong, let's do it. But if there's not...
It started out with a black kid's lie.
Right.
Get himself out of trouble. It started out with a lie saying, hey, we put our hands up, and the guy shot anyways.
Right.
Kid already knew
if the cop is wrong and they find that it's just, you know, that he was not justified, then fry his ass.
And then he kept running.
But everyone keeps, you know, talking and saying, you know, I take exception to them convicting him before anything has even been proven, or any, you know, that's what I take exception to. And they put the baby face of this kid on another Trayvon Martin crap scene. And it's Trayvon Martin's lawyer that's taken over the helm. That's the same lawyer. Did you realize that?
Mm-hmm.
That's Trayvon Martin's lawyer. Yeah.
You can't write television like this.
How'd that work out last time?
I know. Michelle, listen to her laughing.
Yeah.
She's feeling good. She's
feeling
good.
Did you guys see the video that they showed where a kid was laying dead in the street, and it was fresh?
Yes.
And then there was crosstalk behind, and one guy was telling another guy exactly what he saw, and he goes, man, turned around and he ran at the cop. Well, that was fresh video. It wasn't an interview or nothing. He was just telling another friend what happened, and it kind of got caught on this other guy's cell phone. You guys all heard that, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So that all
like 12
corroborates
people
what
corroborate
other
that.
witnesses have said. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I only hope that if JK has that video in hand for evidence, that the police department does as well, because they're looking at. They say they have 200 witnesses that wouldn't talk to the police. You're going to tell me that a lot of those aren't going to be tainted? Hopefully, they're going to be people that are going to speak up and tell the truth, but they just don't want to be called Uncle Toms.
Right.
Right.
This, and it's not. You're never going to find it. It's become a political issue at this point.
Right.
I agree, Brett.
Now with Eric Holder coming in to do the third autopsy.
The right thing will not be done. So.
Yeah, with Holder doing a third autopsy, they're going to find something. They're going to find some reason, even if they've
done 3 autopsies now.
Yeah.
I know.
And all 3 have come back the same.
Exactly.
But one of them said, and we were watching last night, that Michael Boughton, who was hired by the family, along with some other guy who's a local professor there, said that the gunshot that happened right here in the forearm had to have happened from behind because it was there. But what if he had his hand up?
Exactly.
Could have happened that way too.
Yeah, if you're charging at someone.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, and if they find out this kid was on PCP or whatever, I mean, come on.
Well, it's a done deal at that point. But
yeah, or bath salts or whatever the hell they take.
I don't see this kid being on drugs. Just me. I think I think it just goes to his, rage that he has. He has some rage. Go ahead.
Jim, that brings up a good point, though. I mean, if he would have just stayed home and taken a warm bath, could have solved a lot of problems.
He could have been laying like Michelle right now, having a good time.
Solved a lot of problems.
He should have had one of these nights.
Michelle
should have been more like Michelle.
Michelle wants everybody to be intoxicated, happy.
That's right.
There you go.
There you go.
But then, Michelle, and I'm in agreement with you. Okay, I want to say that up front. But then, what do you do with the mean drunk?
Slap upside the head.
Ow!
Oh, come on, don't make me laugh.
Now it's guys being punched in the head.
That's hilarious.
Oh yeah, Amy, I'm sorry. I did want to say that earlier, and we got off on another topic. In response to that whole thing about legalizing punching women in the face, I also wanted to clarify that a woman at that point has a right to castrate a man or shoot him in the head.
Is that all?
Something like that. So.
Or whatever else you can come up with. All bets are off. Whatever you want to do to them. You got my permission.
No,
super glue works real well.
Super glue.
Hey, my mother-in-law's from Argentina, and she said that her husband raised his hand at her one time. She took an old cast iron frying pan and clocked him upside the head, and he never ever did it again.
Oh my God! Ow!
True story.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did they have to bury him?
No. He just had a little lump on his head. I mean, she didn't go to kill him. She just wanted to make a statement. And in fact, all 3 kids witnessed it, so it's not a story that she's making up.
He never really did quite speak right after that, though.
Well, he kind of had a slur or something, I guess.
He was a little slow.
A little slow.
A little slow.
A little dent there in the head.
I'm sorry, honey.
Hey, before I forget, so Michelle, are you into football at all since you're in there with the Bears?
Oh, God, no.
Right on, Michelle. I knew I had someone in my corner.
Wow.
I was just curious.
Hey, I'm a White Sox girl. What can I say?
You're a what?
White Sox girl. Baseball.
A White Sox. All right.
Baseball.
Yeah.
We'll do a fantasy baseball.
Jim wants to do a fantasy football league.
This is a little bit old news, but Brett wanted to talk about this, and I think it's kind of somewhat interesting. When what's his name? He already becomes what's his name? Isn't that terrible? Robin Williams killed himself. Did you see what Gene Simmons said here?
Yes, I wanted
Gene Simmons tells depressed people, "Go kill yourself."
Yeah.
Well, now, hold on. Now, if you that was completely taken out of context.
Okay, hold on. Let me read this real quick, and then we're gonna go to you and then Michelle. Gene Simmons is not making many friends this week. First, he went after American American immigrants who don't speak English, and now Kiss Rocker has some beyond strong opinions about those struggling with depression. He says, drug addicts and alcoholics, he's not talking about you, Michelle, drug addicts and alcoholics are always, the world is a harsh place. My mother was in a concentration camp in Nazi Germany. I don't want to hear F-U-C-K all about the world is a harsh place. She gets up every day, smells the roses, and loves life, the 64-year-old songwriter says. And for a putz, a 20-year-old kid, to say, I'm depressed, I live in Seattle, F you, go kill yourself then. Unfortunately, he didn't stop there. I never understand because I always call them on their bluff. I'm the guy who says jump when there's a guy on the roof of the building who says, that's it, I can't take it anymore, I'm going to jump. Well, one of his co-rockers out of a different group, Nikki Sixx, gave him a hard time, and he says, I can't believe Gene Simmons would say that, because what if a kid who listens to him actually does jump?
Hello.
But to Gene Simmons' point is, jump.
Yeah, but then they're going to sell one less album.
Don't be, yeah, but it's like what Gene Simmons is trying to say is, if my mother went through the Nazi concentration camp and you live in plush Seattle or America, what the hell have you got to be depressed about? Get over it.
I think Gene Simmons, is banking that there aren't a lot of depressed people that listen to their music.
Well, he's banked his money.
Well,
so, Brett, you wanted to talk about this, so I brought it up.
First and foremost, if you're taking life advice from Nikki Sixx or Gene Simmons, you might want to reevaluate how you decide to move forward with your day-to-day activities. When I read this, I didn't understand why it was such a big thing for him to say that. There is nobody out there who has ever been depressed and tried to commit suicide. You either commit suicide or you don't. Anybody who stands there on the edge of the building is like, I'm going to jump, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. Do it.
You're not really serious, yeah.
You're not up there because you really want to be dead. You're up there because you want me to look up there and figure out a way to help you.
Attention. They want attention.
Because if he did want to commit suicide, he would have walked up to the building and just jumped off.
Exactly.
He wouldn't have been waiting for a while.
Absolutely correct.
Valid
Absolutely
point.
correct. And so when I read all this, it's like I totally get where he's coming from. We live in our country has a myriad of problems. We all know this. But we also could probably all agree that would you really rather live anywhere else? Probably not. So whether you're depressed in Seattle or you're living on the beach in Florida, life ain't all that bad. It just isn't.
I thought you were sleepless in Seattle, not depressed in Seattle.
There's plenty of ways to get help out there without going through these motions of like the proverbial standing on the top of the building threatening to jump.
I've got one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life just now. Greg just said, what did you say?
I agree with Brett.
What?
No way.
I can't believe that.
I know,
Here, Michelle has something to say about this.
Huh?
Come on, happy girl. You said you knew about it. I've been bugging Jim to get your opinion.
Greg's been poking me saying, go to Michelle, go to Michelle. She knows about this.
What about depression? Oh yeah, I know about depression.
No. About what Gene Simmons said.
Oh, yeah, at first when I heard it, I got pissed. I'm going to be honest with you. At first when I heard it, I got pissed because I was like, wait a minute. Not everybody is so different from everybody else. There's no two people that are identical. And to try and lump, depression into one bag, so to speak, you can't do that. You just can't. It all depends on what is a person depressed about, and Gene Simmons is just one of those kind of guys. He's a typical guy. Don't get me wrong, guys. I love y'all. You're cool. But he's just reacting like 95% of men will.
Yep.
Okay,
True. Because
that's just how they are. All right.
Yep.
So, coming from a female's point of view and being someone who unfortunately does suffer from depression on a daily basis because of my medical history, what I go through every day, but there are ways to combat it. you know. Now, my situation could be totally different from somebody else's situation. I actually had a really good friend like 7 years ago that I had no clue whatsoever. She came in to see me. I had had a heart attack at the hospital, came in. She came in to see me, said she'll be there the next day to pick me up to take me home. Well, that night she went home and committed suicide by carbon monoxide. So I'm sitting there the next day calling her, trying to figure out, you know, I had no clue. I had no clue. No clue at all. She was sitting there talking to me just like I'm talking to you all. You know, I had no clue what was going on in her head. None. I found out that following Friday, and that was like on a Tuesday, so that was Tuesday night. I was supposed to go home Wednesday. I found out Friday when I went into where I used to work. They're like, oh, did you just get back from the wake? I'm like, what wake? They're like, uh-oh, you don't know, do you? And I'm like, no what? You know, and that's when they threw this bomb on me that Cindy had committed suicide Tuesday night, and I totally lost it. I was like, what? You know, depression's a very, very, it's a very tricky thing. And, you know, sadly, a lot of people don't understand it. Men have a very difficult time understanding it. Nothing against you guys, okay? But, I mean, it's taken my husband probably almost 5 years to actually figure it out with me. Because one minute I could be very happy, and the next minute I can be very sad. You know?
Right, so with that, Amy, what about what she said there? Do you know anybody personally who's committed suicide?
That's committed suicide? No. I do not. No.
How about anybody who suffers from depression, either yourself or friends?
Yeah. I know a lot of people. I think anyone, especially in today's society, if you work in any type of, I mean, let's face it, every cop, firefighter, military person, anyone who's ever been abused or attacked has some form of PTSD, and we also have some type of. I myself was molested as a child, so I know that I suffered from depression and some, PTSD myself. But there's two ways that you deal with things. You either suck it up, buttercup, and you go on, or you off yourself. And there's nothing in between. People kept saying, oh, after Robin Williams killed himself, they kept saying, people, if you're depressed, talk to someone. Well, guess what? He did talk to someone. He talked to someone for years. He went into rehab. You know what I mean? It's like you can't just go say talk to someone. You either suck it up or you don't. And those of us who suck it up go on, and we don't let that destroy our life. We don't let that, I mean, obviously it affects us in some way, but there's no, people who never know about me
I have
ever.
been in very, very close proximity via my immediate family to depression and to suicide, as a matter of fact. It was 2 years ago, my cousin. And it's one of those things where it really made me think. And I started asking myself, what it is very black and white. There are two types of people in this world. There are those that choose to fight, and there are those that give up.
Right. Yep.
And there really isn't a middle ground there. You either choose to live, or you go the other direction. Now, you may slowly fade away, and you may not be somebody who actually commits suicide, but you can definitely pick out the people who gave up. My cousin was faced with Huntington's. It skips a generation. He was just starting the first signs of it. I can still say right now, I'm very, very angry at him for making that decision, because he had given up. And he leaves behind a daughter that's my younger daughter's age. And he had a family behind him, and he made a decision that suicide's always a selfish decision.
Selfish, yeah.
But I don't necessarily disagree with what he did completely, because if you told me tomorrow over the next 5 years you were going to lose control of your motor skills, really?
Oh, I'm offing myself.
Hey, Brett,
I don't know. I can't put myself in his shoes.
I agree with Michelle. There's just so many different types and so many different, varieties of it. You can't just group it all into one. And the thing that find, and you use the word angry at your cousin. Mm-hmm. What angers me, and these are not suicides. People can say what they want. I don't care. I do not classify this as suicide. Correct me if I'm wrong, Michelle and Brett. Amy, you too. JK can't say anything. No, but this guy down in Seal Beach, close to where I live, lost a custody battle with his wife. Okay? Now, he goes in and he shoots all these people in her work, right? He did not choose to take the gun and shoot himself. What I'm saying is I'm so angry at these people that it's an anger issue, not a depression issue. They go out and they kill all the other innocent people in their family and then shoot themselves.
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
not suicide. That is not suicide, in my opinion.
Right.
No, I don't think so either.
No,
That's murder.
psycho. That's psycho.
I've got a cousin who's about 2 years older than me that put a rifle in his mouth and killed himself.
That's what my cousin did.
Yeah, and so now I have 161 first cousins.
It was very effective.
No, I'm just teasing. I mean, sorry, I keep knocking that out of Greg's ear. No, I'm not teasing. And then yesterday I found out that another one of my cousins, I actually do have 162 cousins, well, 161 now because of Mike.
But he's still your cousin.
Yeah. But so another one of my cousins up in the Moses Lake area yesterday, and he's 2 years older than me, his 30-year-old daughter just drowned out on Lake Moses. He's left behind 2 daughters, 2 kids, 11 years old and 9. And so I don't know. I mean, that's not suicide, but anytime, your family members and stuff. But yeah, one cousin killed himself. And I said something during Raquel's 1-year-old baby dedication, like when they turn 6 months, a year old or whatever. At some churches they'll do baptism, some do baby dedications, whatever. So at our church we did quote unquote a baby dedication, and I said something there that has always kind of stuck with me, and that's we don't always get to choose our circumstances, but we always get to choose how we respond to them.
Absolutely.
And to Amy's point, sometimes people, you always get to choose how you respond to them. Some of them just off themselves, or some move on. And I've personally faced, I've personally looked at both options at one time or another. Things happen. You don't know why or what, but I think there's a chemical imbalance in your brain that if you don't take care of it, maybe more than you can handle.
One thing I tell both of my girls, and I've been saying this for years now, and I stand by it, and it would take a long time to really get into why I say this, but on the surface it's fairly simple. Everything in life is your fault. And if you understand what I mean by that, and like I say, we could get into it. You could say, well, no, because that guy did this. No. It's your fault. No, it's not my fault. Yes, it is. Everything in this life is your fault. And I'm telling you, if you live a life where you own it and you learn how to deal with it, you will be a much more successful person emotionally, spiritually, all of that. All that comes with it. You own your situation.
What are you doing for coffee tomorrow, Brett? You and I need to have some counseling so you can talk your daughters.
Own your situation.
That's okay to say own your situation.
Well, the other half of that too is what Brett just touched on. Actually Jim just talked about it, getting treatment. I mean, we got to stop all this treatment stuff too, because I know people who have been in treatment for the same exact thing for 10 years plus, who are still talking about the same exact issue today as they did when they started. So obviously that
I think there are certain things, Amy, I agree with you.
Is not working.
I agree with Amy 100% on that. I think there's certain things, it goes back to what Michelle said, there's so many different variations. I look at one thing. When Vietnam soldiers started coming back and they started talking to these guys and they started doing all the counseling stuff, you see the suicide rate go through the roof. I'm not saying that guys didn't come back from World War I and World War II and commit suicide. I'm sure they did, but not in these large numbers. And they saw a lot of horrific things back in those days too. But they came back and everybody said he didn't talk about it. He didn't talk about it. I knew older guys, they said, yeah, I was in the Marines, but that was it. That was all you got out of them. Yeah. I served my country, I did my country. They didn't go into detail, they didn't want to talk about it, they didn't want to do all that stuff, because the brain is a very powerful thing too. Both ways. You can, like Amy said, suck it up, or you can throw in the towel. And
which men are great at.
Throwing in the towel?
Yeah, well, men are really great at blocking stuff.
Putting it in a box and putting it away. So it almost makes it worse when you make them talk about it.
Men have the ability to compartmentalize things.
Yes.
We have many
put it away.
We have many boxes inside of our head, and we can put things away, and it doesn't affect that part of our life at all. And in other things, we'll open the box and deal with that, and we compartmentalize things a lot.
A lot of military guys will tell you that, and you saw a spike in, like you said, like Greg said, after Vietnam, you saw a spike in all of these guys were committing suicide, and it's like reaching epic heights now because everyone wants everyone to talk about their feelings, but guys aren't the same as women. The guys, like you said, they put it in a box, they shut that box, they put it away, they never think about it. My father was a World War II veteran. He didn't talk about it ever. He did not want to talk about it because that was something. He said, I did my duty, I put that aside, and then he lived his life. And to make him talk about it, he probably would have become depressed or, angry or, suicidal. Who knows? I mean, I know at some point he told my brother, who was a Marine, that he had to kill somebody, but he didn't tell the rest of us. He certainly didn't tell his girls, I mean, so we're forcing these guys to come out and talk about things that not everyone is comfortable doing, and you just kind of create a domino effect towards all this mental health issues,
Right.
Women, we talk, we blabber on.
Thanks for joining.
Well, and something else I wanted to point out is, with me doing a lot of investigative research that I've been doing and like watching the recalls and stuff that I have, a lot of these antidepressants, Paxil, Zoloft, they have more side effects than Carter has pills, okay? And they do more harm than they do good. And what's really sad is when you have somebody that is so dependent that they have this in their head, oh, this little tiny pill here is going to help me. This little tiny pill here is going to help me. Yep, I got to take my little tiny pill here. It's going to help me. When out of the blue they can snap just like that because of that little tiny pill.
I thought that Jim's Paxil was aspirin, and I took some. And yeah, I agree with you, Michelle. I couldn't quit chasing parked cars. And I got tired of hitting my head on the back of bumpers of cars. So there are side effects for different people that vary.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, they've had me on so many different ones. I was like, I took myself off of all of them. You know what I take now?
Good for you.
St. John's Wort. St. John's Wort.
Good for you.
Get rid of that crap.
One thing I think is so funny.
I don't take anything either.
This is for my blood pressure so that I don't kill anyone, and this is for my anxiety so I don't kill myself.
So you don't kill anybody.
So I'm good.
It's covered.
I'm covered.
You're good.
He's free to go to St. Louis.
I can tell you in the last.
This is so I can be like Michelle.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Mudslide.
Yep.
What were you saying, Brett?
With extra.
I can tell you just the last 5 years, I mean, as far as like anything prescribed, aspirin, cough medicine, any of that, I've maybe taken 5 ibuprofen in the last 10 years. I mean, I just don't take pills.
All right. Greg's been here since Saturday, right?
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Wednesday. Monday or Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday.
Approximately how many Tylenols have you seen me take?
Oh, I
67.
Half a bottle?
Yeah, they ran out. He's got to send his wife back to the
They actually ran out.
Yeah.
I think he should be buying them at Costco by the gallon.
I buy them by the
one of those
jug.
bins, big
Yeah.
scoop. Fill up a
Do
plastic
you have
bag.
any idea what you're doing to your liver, dear?
Oh, he knows.
Thank you.
He likes it.
With that moonshine
You're-
working.
Oh
I'm-
my God!
I'm sorry, your microphone's not working so well there, Michelle, but thanks for coming.
Yeah,
Can't hear you. Can't hear what you're saying.
yeah.
That's called denial.
Exactly.
So we are going to run an NFL fantasy league if it kills me. So just kidding.
No, the Tylenol will.
Yeah,
Back in the day when I was working in the grocery industry, somebody went out and tainted the Tylenol. We had to pull it all
I
off.
remember that.
I remember
Oh yeah.
that.
We dubbed it at that point. It was called End It All. Don't take any of that End It All.
Yeah, no doubt. You know that shit started here in Chicago. Whoops, that's crap started here in Chicago.
Where's the ding?
Ding, ding, ding.
Us. Hey,
Jim, did
I'm
we
allowed.
find anything more about the beheading?
that was for Michelle.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Michelle's putting some money in the bank.
She's joined the dinner pool.
Although Brett and I are going to Hawaii on Jim's.
Pretty much,
Thursday.
we're gonna be doing
Yeah.
well.
Michelle, but last week or the week, I think the week before, the FCC almost shut us down.
Brett, JK's going to cover our airfare and hotel and car rental. Michelle
I
will
know.
take care of our drinks.
That is.
Michelle?
Oh, there we go. We're
Okay.
covered.
Michelle,
That's cool.
2
That's
weeks
cool.
ago, I fucking let it fly.
Whoa!
Way
I
to
He did.
go.
He was pretty pissed off.
Oh, there was.
Whew.
I'm
He
sorry.
was shoveling down those Paxil and nothing was working.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry. Hey, so we're gonna go. Is there any other topics we needed to cover before we cut out? And then next week, just so
Yeah.
everyone knows, next week my Google Plus system is working. So for the first time ever since Amy and Michelle have been with us, I'll actually be able to load a real show with topics coming by. We'll take
You
it.
just wait till you see a real show. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you ain't seen nothing yet. And what we're going to do is I've got commercials already loaded actually into the program, things that we can play, and we'll come out of each break. And so during the week, I'm going to ask each one of you guys, I'll throw out a topic or something that, hey, would you like to talk about this? Would you like to talk about that? Or you guys send me one that you'd like to talk about. And you'll take ownership of that topic. So when we come back out of the break, we'll know before the show starts who's going first, second, third, whatever. And when we come back out of the break, that person will take ownership of the conversation until we take a commercial break, and we'll move on and we'll do it. We'll go roundtable style.
Cool.
Cool.
Right on?
It sounds like FSN.
There you go.
Yes, it's kind of going to be kind of like
Fun
Fox.
sharing news. Fun sharing news.
I-
FSN.
And Jim, you and I will iron this out a little bit more, but I would also like to have the new segment that we will call "I Agree,"
Oh.
and more to come on that. No, and honestly, we're
boy.
going to do that. I agree. We're going to
I
have an
agree.
I agree.
Well, we will
instead of-
set up a couple of game show segments, and then Greg and his wife has agreed to hold the camera or microphone and get. They're going to do some interviews on the streets down in Los Angeles that we can put some video on too. That'll be pretty
Even
fun.
better. That's awesome.
Yeah.
There you go.
I hate to put him on the spot, but I think that's what he told me they were going to do.
Yeah, we just got to figure out how to get the footage to JK through the computer.
Okay.
Oh, for God's sake,
Yeah.
you'll never be able to do it.
Exactly.
We're talking Los Angeles, as in California.
Yeah, that's where
Yeah.
GP lives.
Oh, you poor soul.
That
I
coming
love
from
Los
somebody who lives in
Angeles.
Chicago.
Hey, you guys are murdering more people in that city than we are. You guys passed us up a long time ago.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, this is
Yeah.
true. It's every weekend, you know.
You
It's
need to
every
move to Los Angeles where it's safe, Michelle.
And
That's
by
what he
the way,
Been there, done that.
even
Oh, okay.
even when there's a high murder rate, like it's just a busy murder night, it's still a lovely evening, so you can get through it. I mean, In Chicago, when there's a high murder rate going on, it could be 4 degrees out, and nobody enjoys that. I mean, if you're going to kill somebody, let's at least have some 80-degree weather.
Bleeding
I'm just saying.
Warm weather here.
Really sucks, Brett.
Yeah.
What's that?
Hey,
I said bleeding out on a cold, slushy sidewalk really sucks.
It does.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it does.
That's
hey,
why they
you
don't.
know what?
That's why they don't do no shooting and
If
crap
you're gonna
like
ice, if you're gonna ice somebody or put somebody on ice, you want to do it in Chicago, not L.A.
There you
This
go.
is
There you
true.
go. There
that.
you go.
This is true.
hey,
we,
did
get a little bit colder than Chicago, but that's okay.
Well, let's
Yeah,
have
and you guys got a bunch of murderers up there on your football team.
Touche, I know, huh?
yeah.
Can't make it up.
Let's not talk about that.
Hey, before we go, did you guys see on the there's a thing called Twitchy. Do you all know what Twitchy is?
Yeah.
No.
I do not.
Michelle Malkin. If you don't know what Twitchy is, you gotta sign. You gotta
Twitchy.
sign up, or yeah, exactly. You gotta sign up for Twitchy. Do you all know who Michelle Malkin is?
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds familiar.
So Michelle Malkin, and she's got
She on our show?
Twitchy, yeah, and they scour the Twitterverse or whatever for just idiots who are out there, right? So one of the two reporters that got arrested in Ferguson at the McDonald's, a couple of days later, had posted a couple pictures and that he's found on the ground, and he goes, "Hey, I think these might be rubber bullets. Can anybody confirm?" Did you see that?
Yeah.
They turned out to be earplugs.
Earplugs.
Right?
No.
That's fantastic.
So these are some of the photos that came out from it that I thought were pretty funny. This one here says, "I believe this is a taser. Can Ryan Riley confirm?"
That's brilliant.
Thought that was pretty funny. Then he goes, "I think the sharp metal thingy on the right is a samurai sword. Can anyone confirm?"
Oh my God.
I believe these are hand grenades. Can Ryan J. Riley or anybody else confirm?
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Yeah. So what? Just to show you here on the article. Okay, so this is Twitchy. Let me close that.
I was just there.
Yeah, there's Twitchy. Speechless.
There you
You won't believe. And so this guy starts out. It's right there.
Yeah. You can't make it up.
He tweeted, "I believe these are rubber bullets. Can anyone confirm?"
Oh my
honest one.
God.
So if you've never,
Those are Nerf bullets.
yeah, if you've
Yeah,
never
really?
followed Twitchy, it's pretty funny. I like Twitchy and I like Gawker. Have you ever seen Gawker?
You guys did see, by the way, that there's a fresh new officer-involved shooting in St. Louis?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I
holding
did
a
report on that
samurai
hours
sword.
You know what? Here's what's really sad about the state of America. We don't care. It's over. We've seen that. We're fine.
Another killing.
Give us something else more interesting. Can you pick a new city, please?
Exactly.
Speaking
All right, we're gonna.
Can I just say, speaking of Twitter, can I just can I just give you another one? I don't know if you saw it on my page, but this guy Chris Holland, he writes, "Why y'all acting like the world just now is getting messed up? What about slavery? Question mark. The Hall of Cost. The Hall of Cost. HALL.
You guys are gonna see this. I saw this on Amy's
Hall of
page.
Cost.
Watch.
Yeah.
Watch. This is on Amy's
can't make
page.
it up.
This is funnier than crap.
He says, pick up a book.
Let me
Keep
find
going.
it.
I post a lot. Keep going. That was the melting movement.
Let's see. This is up to an hour ago. Here's an hour and a half
Shush.
ago.
Shush, you stop a breath.
This is about
Hey,
5 minutes ago.
it's
5
2
minutes
hours
ago,
ago,
Beth.
eh?
It's
2 hours
coming.
ago. 2 hours.
49 posts, 10 in 10 minutes. This is almost
Wow.
there.
Epic.
Almost there.
Nice dog.
Hi,
That's a
doggy.
cute dog.
It's up for adoption. It's up for adoption.
Oh.
Right here.
All right, you guys got to see this. Look at that. Why y'all acting like the world just now getting messed up? What about slavery
God.
and the Holocaust?
The Holocaust. You can't make it up.
HALLOFCOST. How much did it cost for that hall? I mean, I heard they're pretty expensive.
Well, some people like.
Have you tried to buy a hall lately? I think it costs a couple million for a hall.
That's like the Holocaust. That's the RMV when you go and you spend all your money.
Well, that's what Hitler originally tried to start off with. It was just a big hall, and the idea was just to, bring everybody there, and they're going to.
No, it just started costing the people so much money that he had to take it a different direction.
Hey, Amy, did you see the cover? Did you see the blast cover?
Oh, yes, I did.
Oh, my God.
Oh, there she is.
I love that. She says, Amy's cover of her page, so I put it on ours. Your lack of morals and spine insults me.
There's some stranger in the backyard.
I love that.
Pulling weeds at Jim's house.
That is
And so we're
Hey! What are you doing out there? I think we got a looter in our house.
watch.
Do they speak English?
Hello? She ran away.
Oh, yeah. It's true. Was it your wife?
We're under attack.
Yeah,
We
can
don't
you see her?
Yes,
Can you
we
see her?
can. Yep.
Lisa, come here.
Some homeless person in the backyard.
No, come up to the window. Never mind.
You can see her. The pretty blonde.
Yo, make me a. Never mind. I
Damn it.
don't want to get in
Hey,
trouble.
Jim.
Chicken pot pie or a turkey sandwich.
Jim, I do want to throw a little shout out to Anna
another
Marie.
mudslide.
Uh-oh, Michelle's got to go. She's out. Literally.
I'm going to throw out, just to end the show here, just one of my favorite quotes. This was an Anna Marie quote up on her page, and she's kind of talking about not keeping her mouth shut, which I like. And
Isn't Anna Marie dead?
this last line, I guess I'd rather leave this life having offended enemies of freedom than live quietly with their hands around my throat. I like that.
Amen.
Who's Anna Marie?
Yeah, that's good.
Anna Marie
Amen, brother.
Suptar.
Oh.
Oh, Anna.
I thought it was Anna Nicole Smith. I thought she was dead.
No,
Yeah.
Anna Marie.
How do you like this one? The congresswoman who says if guns weren't in stores, no one could buy them. Says really, when was meth? When was the last time you saw meth on the shelf?
Nice.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's complete ignorance.
Oh.
I'd say.
We didn't,
Wow.
we
No,
didn't
but
see this
here's-
last week.
Here's what's scary. She
Yeah.
is in our government.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
she's an elected official.
Ron Johnson there who thought that Guam was going to tip over if we sent more Marines.
Oh, isn't that hilarious?
Oh, no.
Oh,
You
my
can't
God.
make it up.
Which,
Donkey. Go back, go back.
yeah, look at this.
Oh, my God.
A Saudi died after attempting to sexually abuse a donkey.
What?
Did you see that? Yeah.
Holy shit. Whoops.
Whoa!
Well, now, but
Ding,
hey,
ding,
but
ding,
you guys, before you feel too bad, in this case, when that guy dies, he actually goes to heaven where he is met by 77 zebras. So he
Ow.
really wanted to be in.
Brett, virgin zebras.
Well, absolutely, yeah, that's a given, though. I mean, you don't want your zebra tainted. That's all I'm saying.
I'm
You
telling
guys
you.
are-
Love.
Get in there, those slutty zebras, boy. They're in the
Oh.
at all.
You are
All right.
killing me.
Just for
Poops and giggles.
poops and giggles to go for something that what's her face just said. I'm teasing you, Amy. I don't want to treat you like Andrew.
Yeah, what's his face? Now you're just like Robin Williams.
Yeah.
it's always my
Hey,
God.
it's
I think, Amy, you are now dead in Jim's eyes.
feces and laughter. Feces and
And you
laughter.
thought
There
of
you
me,
go.
feces and laughter, and you thought of me, Jim?
No.
FNL, FNL.
FNL. Here, wait. You guys will like this. Watch. I'm getting there.
Darn, I'm frozen up.
Jim,
I just
Jim's gets more than you do.
We can still hear you.
Amy.
hold on. I'm going through the rest of today's posts.
Jim gets more posts than you, Amy. You better
See?
step it up. You
No,
better step it up.
Step it up.
Nobody gets more posts than Amy. All right, hold on. Here it is. All right. Oh, here it is. Okay. We won't. Can we? I don't know if we should play the whole thing. Do we have time? But I just revamped the blast page here about 2 months ago. So this was on there from last year, but this was. Brett, have you seen this? I'm going to play it for just a second.
I might have.
You got to watch this just for a second. This is a congressional hearing.
Oh.
That's accurate.
I love that intro.
Oh, we're having
Really? Are you freaking kidding?
audio issues again, ladies and gentlemen.
Really?
I can do the voice if you want.
Yeah. Anyways, I can't freaking believe that happened. Because I hit a wrong button. So, anyways, but that was Amy. I have that still saved. The congressman was talking about how he was concerned about us putting more Marines or a Marine base on Guam because putting that amount of people. Brett, did you hear that?
Yes.
Okay. He was afraid that the island could tip over. Did you hear that, GP?
Yeah,
No.
Do we have time for me to?
Let's do it. Come on. I want to see some Porky Pig.
Okay, hold on, just for 1 second. I've got to play this.
That's classic.
Wait, just so y'all know.
Yeah.
I don't know how it got on here, but that's my grandson born on my birthday.
I'll tell you how it got on there. He put it on there.
No, it just came across. Somebody posted it. He's born on my birthday. He's 6 years old.
That's a
living
setup.
over in Hawaii.
That is the setup. Oh, look at that. How'd that get there?
Whoa!
I don't know nothing.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna
know nothing. Schultz.
GP has never seen this. This is funnier than
Dismissed.
The general's face, the general's deadpan face, is like a killer for me.
Is it funnier than Holocaust?
Yes.
Yeah,
Almost.
it actually is.
Gosh.
It actually is. Because at least that's just some douchebag on Twitter. This is an actual congressman, you know?
Cost.
Yeah, you can't make it up, Greg.
You know, that kid probably graduated too. That's what's really scary and sad.
That's what a lot of people are
That's
saying.
beyond frightening.
Well, actually, I have a hard time even blaming him. Somebody somewhere along the line sure didn't explain it very well.
Yeah, he ain't very educated.
Well, yeah, that's a tough one right
And
there.
they want to, hey, Brett, and in Los Angeles, they want to make Ebonics a language.
I know.
So
Look, Tony Ebonics, it'd be working for me.
There. Are we getting any volume?
Isn't that crazy?
That is absolutely.
Yeah. See.
All right. Let's not do
I'm
this
not gonna be
again.
able to do it.
We'll do it next week.
Yeah, we'll do it next
That's a
week.
setup for next week, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
And there you go, a little preview of next week's show.
You
Thank
can't
you for
make it
tuning
up
in
if you
tonight here
try.
on The Blast, man.
Next week's
Here we
show,
go. I got
Ebonics.
it. I got it. Watch this. Here we go. Really?
Psych.
Oh, you almost had it. Just don't turn that one on. No, don't do it.
All right, whatever. Okay, I'll tell
That's
you
why I get
what.
my earpiece out, Brett.
When the show's over, I'm going to play that for Greg.
Yeah,
I'm
you have
holding that
to.
one
You
aside.
have to see it.
It is too
Hey, is there
funny. And then
somewhere
next
we
week,
could go
He's going to record me laughing and falling on the ground, rolling over.
yeah, next week I will have the whole thing done. Here's one of the commercials that we'll be able to play next week. I made this one up. Let's see which one this is.
Uh-oh.
Look now. Yes. You. I'm talking to you.
Wait, let me start it over. Here's one of them. Watch this.
Hey, you. You can be advertising right here. Right now. Yes. You. I'm talking to you. You should be advertising with Blast. You.
The Barry White type music in the background. Give us some love.
You know that you can. And then here's a commercial that I made for Rock Solid for my granddaughter's coffee. Watch this. This is, let's see. Let me start at the beginning. We'll just play this really quick.
Ow. Ow.
Don't laugh, Michelle.
Here we go.
I'm trying not to.
Don't laugh.
Watch this one. I made this.
I made this.
I may have to hurt you.
Here we go.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Ow.
Don't laugh. I bought that rock solid coffee. I kept seeing on the Facebook page, and life was going so good. And then I didn't drink it that day. I didn't make good choices that day. You drink rock solid coffee, and you'll make good choices. I sure didn't. Oh, I wish I had. I wish I had. Oh.
Ow.
That's it.
JK is very versatile.
That's
He
very
is
good.
actually as good as Robin Williams. He can do it all.
Yeah.
You're bad.
He can play a skeleton.
Is it too soon yet?
You can play Porky Pig.
It's too soon, right?
He can play Pulowski.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
let's see.
Pulowski. That's what they
Yeah,
should call
well,
it. No offense to all you Polish people out there.
Michelle, we were talking about being able to punch women, and we all I agreed. Or I said it is never okay to punch a woman, but Amy thinks there might be a time when you could punch a woman, but probably not. And Brett thinks you can punch a woman whenever you want. And then I said,
It's not what I
well,
said.
okay, maybe there's one woman that you could punch, and here she is.
Oh yeah, I agree.
It looks like she's been beat up thoroughly there.
Well, not literally her, but they ought to make a punching bag with that face.
Oh, that would work.
There you go.
Yeah.
Dartboard.
That would be scarier than a clown.
And every time they
Scaring
say,
the clown. Pull up my Halloween clown.
oh yeah, I should. Every
Scary,
single
isn't it?
time I'm like that.
You're killing me here.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Ah. Oh,
All right, so it's time. It's time to go.
Things must end.
Well, thank you, everybody,
Tonight,
for joining us on the
Very
Blast.
much.
party's over.
Party's over.
Whatever you do, Jake, better not turn off the lights here, because we're in a room by ourselves.
The
Aw.
romance continues offline.
Hey, we should have
All
done
right,
a show like this too. Look at you, you're looking fine.
Where's
Look
Lance?
at me,
Where's Lance?
I'm almost crying.
Where's Lance? Come on, Lance. Where's Lance? There's Lance. Come on, Lance.
Yes.
Come on, baby.
Party's over.
In sync, baby. You can do it.
At the lights, please don't. The party's over.
Michelle's got the lights out, so does Brett.
It all.
Things
You
must
can only imagine.
Holiday tonight.
The lights.